Good evening, my friends. I want you to imagine for a moment the life you truly desire, the goals you want to achieve, the success you dream about, the person you know you can become. Now, let me ask you, what's stopping you? For many people, the answer is simple: self-doubt. That little voice that whispers, you're not good enough, you don't have what it takes. Maybe success is for other people, but not for you. Let me tell you something I learned early in life. Self-doubt is a liar. It will steal your potential, your opportunities, and your confidence if you let it. But here's the good news. You can take back control. You can replace doubt with determination, fear with faith, and hesitation with action. So today I'm going to share 5 powerful strategies to shift from self-doubt to unstoppable confidence. Are you ready? Let's begin. Reprogram your mindset, speak life into your dreams. What you tell yourself every day matters. If you constantly say, I can't, then you won't. But if you start saying, I will, everything changes. Your words shape your reality. I've met people who tell themselves, I'm just not good at business. And guess what? They struggle in business. Others say, I always mess things up. And sure enough, they do. But the winners, the successful ones, say, I can learn, I can grow, I can do this. And because they believe it, they act on it. My advice? Start talking to yourself like a champion. Say, I am strong. I am capable. I am worthy of success. The moment you change your inner dialogue, you change your destiny. What you tell yourself every day matters more than you might realize. Your mind is like a fertile garden, and your words are the seeds. If you constantly plant seeds of doubt, telling yourself, I'm not good enough, I always mess up, or success isn't for me, then don't be surprised when those thoughts take root and shape your reality. But if you start planting seeds of confidence, affirming your abilities, believing in your potential, and speaking power into your life, your mind will begin to work in your favor rather than against. The truth is, our words program our mindsets. What you repeatedly tell yourself becomes your belief system, and that belief system dictates your actions. If you believe you're capable, you'll take action with conviction. If you doubt yourself, you'll hesitate, second guess, and ultimately hold yourself back. This is why some people, despite having talent and opportunity, never achieve their potential. Why? They have conditioned their minds to expect failure rather than success. But here's the good news. You can reprogram your mindset starting today. The first step is to become aware of your self-talk. Pay attention to the thoughts running through your mind throughout the day. Are they empowering or limiting? Do they build you up or tear you down? Most people don't even realize how much negativity they allow into their internal dialogue. They've been speaking doubt for so long that it feels normal. But normal isn't always right. You must make a conscious effort to shift your words in a direction that serves you, not sabotages you. Start by replacing negative statements with positive ones. If you find yourself thinking, I'm not good at this, switch it to, I'm not good at this yet, but I can learn. Instead of saying, I'll never be successful, say, I am capable of achieving great things with effort and persistence. It may feel unnatural at first, but repetition is the key. Just like a muscle grows stronger with use, your mindset strengthens with consistent positive reinforcement. Another powerful way to reprogram your mind is through affirmations. Every morning, take a few moments to speak life into your dreams. Look in the mirror and declare, I am confident, I am strong, I am capable. Success is within my reach. It's not about wishful thinking, it's about setting the tone for how you approach your day. When you start each morning with empowering words, you train your mind to focus on possibilities rather than limitations. Visualization is another game changer. Close your eyes and see yourself succeeding. Imagine yourself giving that powerful speech, closing that big deal, or reaching that fitness goal. Feel the confidence, hear the applause, and see yourself winning. Your brain doesn't differentiate between real experiences and vividly imagined ones, so when you consistently visualize success, you're priming yourself to act in ways that align with that vision. It's also important to guard what you expose yourself to. Your environment influences your mindset more than you realize. If you're constantly surrounded by negativity, choose wisely. Surround yourself with books, podcasts, and people that reinforce belief in yourself. Let inspiration and motivation be the fuel that drowns out doubt. Most importantly, remember that reprogramming your mindset is a daily process. Confidence isn't built overnight, and self-doubt doesn't disappear instantly. It's a commitment you make every day to think better, speak better, and ultimately become better. But if you stay consistent, one day you'll wake up and realize that the doubt that once held you back has been replaced with an unstoppable belief in yourself. And when that happens, there will be no limits to what you can achieve. Take massive action. Confidence comes from doing. Let me give you a little secret. Confidence isn't something you're born with. It's something you build. And the fastest way to build confidence? Take action. Think about a time when you hesitated. Maybe you wanted to start a business, switch careers, or learn a new skill, but fear held you back. Now think about a time when you took a leap of faith. Maybe it wasn't perfect, but you did it. And what happened? Your confidence grew. The key to unstoppable confidence is to act before you feel ready. You don't wait for confidence to show up. You create it by moving forward. It appears out of nowhere. It's something you build through action. Too often, people wait for the perfect moment to feel ready, to feel confident, or to feel like they're capable of taking the next step. But the truth is, confidence doesn't come from waiting. It comes from doing. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that once you know enough, once you have everything perfectly in place, or once you feel completely prepared, then you'll have the confidence to take action. But that's the trick. Confidence isn't the thing that pushes you into action. Action is the thing that creates confidence. Every time you step out of your comfort zone, take a risk, or push past fear, your confidence grows. It doesn't matter if you succeed or fail. The mere act of doing something new, trying something unfamiliar, or taking a leap of faith builds the belief that you can handle whatever comes your way. The key to understanding this is realizing that confidence is built through small victories. It's about breaking down your larger goals into manageable steps and celebrating the progress along the way. The more you take action, the more you prove to yourself that you can overcome obstacles and accomplish what you set out to do. For example, if you're trying to get fit, you may not feel confident in the beginning, but every time you work out, you get one step closer to your goal. Even if the results aren't immediate, you can look back and see that you've made progress, and that progress is the fuel for more action and more confidence. It's important to also understand that action is not always about achieving perfection. Many people hesitate to act because they fear they won't do things perfectly or make mistakes. But here's the thing. Perfection is a myth. The greatest achievers in history didn't become great because they were flawless. They became great because they were willing to try, to fail, to learn, and to keep going. Every failure is a lesson, and each lesson is a building block for future success. What separates those who achieve from those who don't is their willingness to take action in the face of uncertainty. They don't wait until they feel completely prepared. They act, learn from the experience, and adjust along the way. They know that the path to success isn't linear. It's filled with detours, setbacks, and even failures. But rather than seeing failure as a sign of incompetence, they see it as a necessary part of growth. Taking action also forces you to develop a growth mindset. Instead of thinking, I can't do this, you start thinking, I can't do this yet. By simply taking action, you shift from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset, where challenges are opportunities and setbacks are stepping stones. The more you embrace this mindset, the more your confidence grows, because you no longer fear failure. You welcome it as part of the learning process. If you're unsure about where to begin, start with small, consistent actions. Maybe it's making that phone call you've been avoiding, sending that email to a potential client, or taking that first step toward a personal goal. Whatever it is, taking that first step is the most important part. Once you start, you'll find that the next steps come more easily, and each small victory will build on the last, creating a snowball effect of growing confidence and unstoppable momentum. Another key to building confidence through action is holding yourself accountable. When you commit to something and take action on it, you prove to yourself that you're capable of following through. This reinforces your sense of self-worth and self-trust. The more you honor your commitments, the more you believe in your ability to get things done, which in turn strengthens your confidence. In short, confidence is the byproduct of action. You don't wait for it to show up. It shows up when you start doing. Take that first step, push through the discomfort, and watch your confidence grow. It doesn't matter how big or small the action is. What matters is that you keep moving forward. Every step, every decision, and every action reinforces the belief that you are capable, that you can do this, and that nothing can stop you. When you realize this, you'll see that the only thing holding you back from your goals is your own hesitation. The moment you decide to act, you'll be unstoppable. Master the art of discipline. Do what must be done. Now, let's talk about discipline. Because here's the truth. Motivation is great, but it won't always be there. Some days you'll feel inspired and some days you won't. But discipline, that's what separates the successful from the struggling. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. That means doing what needs to be done even when you don't feel like it. If you want to build confidence, commit to daily disciplines. Reading, exercising, improving your skills, setting clear goals. Each small victory strengthens your belief in yourself. Discipline is the foundation of confidence. The more you follow through on your commitments, the more you trust yourself. And trust, that's what breeds real unshakable confidence. Discipline is the unsung hero of success. It's the bridge that takes you from where you are today to where you want to be. While motivation can spark the fire, it's discipline that keeps the fire burning long after the initial excitement fades. Many people are motivated at the beginning of their journey, whether it's a new business, a fitness routine, or a personal goal. But motivation is fleeting. On the days when you don't feel like moving forward, discipline is what will pull you through. Discipline is about doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like doing it. It's about making a commitment to yourself and sticking to it, no matter what. If you want to achieve anything significant, you must develop the ability to do what you know needs to be done, even on the days when the motivation isn't there. Successful people don't wait for inspiration to strike. They've built the habit of doing the work every day, even when they'd rather do something else. This is where consistency comes in. Discipline is not about one-time bursts of effort. It's about making daily choices that align with your long-term goals. Every day you are either moving closer to your dreams or pushing them further away. There's no neutral. When you consistently make the right choices, even in small ways, you build momentum. Momentum is powerful because it makes success inevitable. You start seeing the results of your efforts, and the progress itself becomes its own motivation. Think about a person trying to get fit. If they're disciplined enough to work out every day, they'll see gradual improvements, their body will begin to change, their energy will increase, and they'll feel better physically and mentally. But if they only work out sporadically, their progress will be slow or non-existent. The key to progress in any area of life is consistent, disciplined action. Now, I know what you're thinking, but I don't feel like doing it today. And I understand that feeling. There are plenty of days when we all just don't want to keep going. But the difference between those who succeed and those who don't is the ability to push through those moments. Discipline means showing up when you don't feel like it. It means following through on your commitments, even when it's inconvenient or uncomfortable. The more you do this, the easier it becomes. Discipline also helps you build self-respect. When you commit to something and honor that commitment, you develop a sense of pride in yourself. You prove to yourself that you can be counted on, that you can rely on your own actions to move you forward. This strengthens your belief in your abilities and builds your confidence. The more disciplined you become, the more you trust yourself, and the more you trust yourself, the stronger your sense of self-worth grows. But it's not just about willpower or effort. Discipline is also about planning and structure. People who are disciplined create systems for success. They break down their goals into actionable steps and follow a plan. They understand that achieving something significant doesn't happen by accident. It happens through deliberate, consistent action. When you plan your day, week, or month around your most important goals, you're taking control of your future. You're not letting distractions, procrastination, or other people's agendas dictate your time. You're making sure that the actions you take every day bring you closer to your vision. Another crucial aspect of discipline is learning to say no. Successful people know that they can't do everything, and they're okay with it. They focus on the things that will move them toward their goals, and they let go of the things that won't. This is where boundaries become essential. Discipline means protecting your time, your energy, and your focus from anything that doesn't align with your long-term vision. It means saying no to short-term pleasures, distractions, and immediate gratifications in favor of something greater in the future. As you continue to practice discipline, you'll find that it becomes a habit, something you don't even have to think about. It becomes part of who you are, and at that point, success isn't a matter of if, but when. The more disciplined you become, the more you'll find that your confidence builds as well. Discipline is the foundation that supports everything else. Without it, you can't expect to reach your full potential. But when you develop a disciplined mindset, you unlock the power to achieve anything. Discipline is what transforms your dreams into reality. It's what makes the difference between thinking about success and actually achieving it. It doesn't matter how badly you want something. If you don't have the discipline to follow through, you won't get there. But when you develop the discipline to take consistent action, regardless of how you feel, you will see results. The success you desire isn't far off. It's waiting for you on the other side of your commitment. So commit to your goals. Take consistent action and let discipline be the force that drives you toward your greatness. Build resilience. See failure as fuel. That's part of the journey. The question isn't if you'll fail, but how you'll respond when you do. Weak-minded people let failure break them. Strong-minded people let failure build them. They understand that every setback is a setup for a comeback. So the next time you fail, don't say, I guess I'm not good enough. Say, what can I learn from this? How can I improve? Every successful person you admire has failed. The difference, they didn't stop. They used failure as feedback, adjusted their approach, and kept going. So remember this, failure isn't final. Your response is what determines your success. Resilience is the ability to bounce back, to rise above adversity, and to keep moving forward despite challenges. It's easy to feel confident when everything is going well, when things are smooth, and when success seems guaranteed. But the true measure of your strength lies in how you respond to setbacks, failures, and tough times. When you face challenges, how do you respond? Do you crumble under pressure? Do you stand tall, learn from the experience, and keep going? Resilience is what separates those who succeed from those who give up. Every successful person has faced failure. The difference is not in their ability to avoid setbacks, but in their response to them. Resilient individuals understand that failure is not permanent. It's just a temporary setback on the road to success. Failure is not an endpoint, but a lesson, an opportunity to learn, grow, and adjust. It's important to embrace the idea that failure is part of the journey, not something to fear or avoid. When you can view setbacks as lessons rather than losses, you can recover faster and come back stronger. The first step in building resilience is shifting your mindset. Instead of focusing on the pain or disappointment of failure, focus on what you can learn from the experience. Ask yourself, what went wrong? What could I have done differently? What can I take away from this so that I don't make the same mistake again? Resilience is about finding the lesson in every situation, no matter how difficult it may seem at the time. When you develop this mindset, setbacks become stepping stones. They are no longer obstacles that block your path, but challenges that help you grow stronger. Another key to resilience is emotional regulation. When things don't go as planned, it's easy to get discouraged, angry, or frustrated. These emotions are natural, but they shouldn't control your actions. Resilient people are able to manage their emotions and stay focused on their goals, even in the face of adversity. They understand that emotions are temporary and that the power lies in their ability to choose how to respond. Instead of letting negative emotions dictate their behavior, they choose to take positive action, even when they're feeling down. Developing resilience also requires a deep sense of self-belief. When you encounter difficulties, you need to have faith in your ability to overcome them. Resilient individuals trust themselves. They know that no matter what happens, they have the strength to persevere. They don't let setbacks define them, and they don't let failure shake their belief in their own abilities. This self-consciousness is built over time as you face challenges and prove to yourself that you can handle whatever comes your way. The more you overcome, the stronger your belief in yourself becomes, and the more resilient you become. Building resilience also requires a willingness to be flexible. Sometimes the way we think things should go doesn't match reality. The path to success is rarely straight. It's often filled with detours, roadblocks, and unexpected changes. Resilient people are able to adapt when things don't go according to plan. They don't waste energy complaining or resisting change. Instead, they find new ways to move forward. This adaptability allows them to maintain momentum even when they face challenges that seem insurmountable. Resilient individuals are problem solvers, and they know that if one approach doesn't work, there's always another way to reach their goal. Another important aspect of resilience is the ability to stay focused on the bigger picture. In the heat of the moment, it's easy to get overwhelmed by a setback. But resilient people keep their eyes on the end goal. They don't get bogged down by temporary obstacles. They stay focused on the long-term vision. This ability to maintain perspective allows them to persevere through tough times without losing sight of their ultimate objectives. When you can focus on the bigger picture, the smaller setbacks become less intimidating. You realize that one failure or setback is just a small part of the larger journey, and it's not worth giving up over. Finally, resilience is nurtured by a support system. While resilience is an internal quality, it's also influenced by the people around you. Resilient people surround themselves with supportive, positive individuals who encourage them during tough times. This network of support provides a sense of security and reassurance, reminding you that you're not alone. Whether it's a mentor, a friend, or a family member, having people who believe in you can help you push through when things get tough. Resilience is a skill that you can develop over time. It's not something you're born with, but something you cultivate through experience, mindset, and practice. Every time you face a challenge and choose to keep moving forward, you build your resilience. Every setback is an opportunity to grow stronger, wiser, and more capable. And as you build your resilience, you'll find that you're able to face even the most difficult obstacles with confidence and determination. Well, resilience is the key to not only surviving adversity, but thriving in it. It's the inner strength that will carry you through the toughest times and propel you toward your ultimate goals. So remember, setbacks don't define you. How you respond to them does. Keep moving forward, and you'll find that there's nothing you can't overcome. Surround yourself with winners. Your environment shapes you. Who you spend time with will either fuel your confidence or feed your doubts. Ever noticed how some people inspire you while others drain your energy? That's no accident. The people around you influence your beliefs, habits, and mindset. If you want unstoppable confidence, surround yourself with people who lift you higher. People who challenge you to grow, who believe in you when you forget to believe in yourself. Because when you're around confident, driven individuals, you start absorbing their energy. You rise to their level. So ask yourself, who's in your circle? If they're not pushing you forward, it's time to upgrade your environment. Success is never an overnight achievement. It's the result of consistent effort, discipline, resilience, and above all, the willingness to take small steps each day toward your ultimate goals. It's easy to look at someone who has already achieved success and assume they've had an easier path, that they were just lucky or that they had something special from the start. But the truth is, success is earned, and it is the product of a mindset that stays focused, committed, and determined over time. One of the most powerful qualities that successful people possess is the ability to focus on the journey, not just the destination. They understand that each small step taken today is a building block for tomorrow's success. Too often, we get caught up in the idea of the big win and forget that true success is a series of small, deliberate actions over a long period. It's those daily habits, the little things you do when no one is watching, that create the foundation for long-term achievement. What happens to most people is that they get discouraged by the size of the challenge ahead of them. They look at their big goals and feel overwhelmed by how far they have to go. But what they don't realize is that big goals are achieved by breaking them down into smaller, manageable tasks. If you want to run a marathon, for example, you don't just wake up one day and run 26 miles. You start by running shorter distances, building up your stamina, and increasing your strength. The journey might look long and difficult, but every step you take today is progress, and each step is one step closer to the finish line. This is where consistency comes into play. Success isn't about trying harder when motivation strikes. It's about showing up every day, whether you feel like it or not, and doing the work. Consistency turns actions into habits, and habits turn into results. The more you consistently put in the effort, the more it becomes second nature. And before you know it, those small efforts start adding up, and the results you've been working for begin to manifest. People often underestimate the power of consistency. They think that they need to make a huge leap to reach their goals. But it's the compounding effect of consistent actions that leads to long-term success. Think of it this way. If you were to save just $5 a day over the course of a year, that adds up to over $1,800. That's the power of consistency. Small intentional actions, when repeated over time, lead to massive results. The same principle applies to any area of life, whether it's building a business, improving your health, or developing a skill. The consistent effort you put in will eventually lead to the success you desire. The key is to stay focused on the process, not just the outcome. Yes, it's important to have a vision for where you want to go, but if you only focus on the end result, you might miss the value of the journey. Every setback, every failure, and every challenge along the way is an opportunity for growth. These are the moments that will shape you into the person you need to become in order to achieve your goals. So, while the destination may be important, the person you become along the way is even more important. A big part of staying focused on the journey is understanding that success doesn't always happen on your timeline. There will be times when progress feels slow, when you're doing everything right but not seeing the results you expect. This is where perseverance becomes essential. Success requires you to stick with it even when the road seems longer than anticipated. It requires you to trust the process and believe that your efforts will pay off in time. Additionally, taking care of your mental and emotional health is key to staying focused. If you're constantly stressed, overwhelmed, or burned out, it will be difficult to stay committed to your goals. You need to prioritize your well-being and ensure that you have the energy and mindset necessary to stay on track. This means getting enough sleep, eating well, managing stress, and surrounding yourself with people who uplift you. The more you take care of yourself, the better equipped you'll be to handle the challenges that come your way. Another important factor in staying focused on the journey is setting realistic expectations. While it's great to aim high, it's also important to recognize that success is a process. You won't achieve your goals overnight, and that's okay. What matters is that you're making progress. No matter how small, break your larger goals into smaller, more manageable milestones and celebrate each one as you achieve it. This will keep you motivated and remind you that you are moving in the right direction. Ultimately, success is not just about what you achieve, but who you become in the process. The growth, the discipline, the resilience, and the persistence you develop along the way are what truly define your success. The more focused you are on the journey, the more you'll enjoy the process and the more satisfaction you'll gain from the progress you make. When you embrace the journey, you unlock the power to achieve your goals, no matter how big they may seem. So take it one step at a time, stay consistent, keep showing up, and trust the process. Success is within your reach, and every small step you take today brings you one step closer to making it a reality. Don't just focus on the end result, enjoy the journey, and you'll find that success will come naturally, my friends. Self-doubt is nothing but a bad habit, one that you have the power to break. If you start speaking power into your life, taking bold action, staying disciplined, embracing failure as growth, and surrounding yourself with winners, guess what? You will become unstoppable. So the choice is yours. Will you let doubt hold you back, or will you rise with determination? I say you can do it. And when you do, the world will never be the same.